alerted when new videos are posted. And please, all of you, give this video a thumbs up by liking this video. So let us get right into this paper. We'll be doing actually a two-part to this video. So part 1 will be covering the discrete items, questions 1 to 25. And then in part 2, we'll be doing the comprehension. So let us get right into it. The first question says items 1 to 5. The instruction says each sentence has either 1 or 2 words missing. Choose from the 4 options the word or pair of words which best completes the meaning of the sentence. Mark your choice on the answer sheet. 1. Despite his short temper, his willingness to give of his wealth to help others to succeed led people to call him C. Benevolent, being kind. Let's go on to number 2. It says, when parents display a dash for one child, the others are likely to feel. So we know our answer option would be C. When parents display a preference for one child, the others are likely to feel jealous. 3 says, an attack on someone when that person is most vulnerable may be dash, but is always dash. So we know that our answer options is D. The answer is D. So an attack on someone when that person is most vulnerable may be effective, but is always unkind. 4 says, while the committee members dash insults across the floor, the chairman tried in vain to dash order. So we know it is A, urged and restored. 5 says, to conceal his true activities, the spy quickly, or answer A, fabricated a plausible excuse for his presence there. And we had already explained what the word fabricated mean in one of our previous videos. So make sure to check out our other paper 1 video. Item 6 to 10. Now it says, the instruction says some of the sentences in this section are unacceptable because of inappropriate grammar, idiom, or vocabulary. Some sentences are acceptable as they stand. No sentence contains more than one inappropriate element. Choose the one underlined, part A, B, or C, that is inappropriate. If the sentence is acceptable as it stands, choose D. 6 says, there is hardly a point to our knocking as no one is not at home. So where is the error? So we'll notice that C would be where it is inappropriate because we notice it says not at home. So we don't need the word not again since we already use no one. So not should be left out. So C would be our answer. Let's go on to 7. Had they not been forewarned, they might have joined the queue, not knowing that gas was not on sale at that station. So we know, is there anything wrong with the sentence? No. So we didn't find error. So our answer option would be D. D would be our answer option for this one. Let's go on to number 8. The problem with the students is that they arrive late, gives no excuse, and are rude when spoken to. So we're looking at students that is correct, but this is where the problem lies. Give. So instead of gives, the students give. So B would be your answer. So give would be the correct word to complete that sentence. 9 says, June prefers to lie in bed, not wanting to go to school, nor does any work. So we notice to lie, that's correct. So we notice where the problem is right at C. So instead of does, since it is June, it should be do. So C would be your answer. 10 says, the biased reporter is concerned not so much with the truth of what he writes as with its credibility. So we know that C would be where it is. We notice quite a bit of with is being used. So this one could have opted out and just says as its credibility. So that's it for that section. Let's go on to items 11 to 50. So we're looking at equivalent sentences now, sentences that are nearest in meaning. The instruction says, each sentence in this section is followed by four sentences, A, B, C, and D. Choose the one nearest in meaning to the original sentence. 11 says, the news shocked me so much that I almost forgot what I wanted to say. So which sentence is nearest in meaning to this one? Well, B would be the one nearest. It says, I could hardly remember my message after such shocking news. So let's go on to 12. It says, if students' efforts are rewarded, they would be encouraged to work harder. So what would be the one? So we know A and C would be out. So we're left with B and D. So D would be our one that would be our correct answer because it says if students are praised for their efforts, they usually work harder. And rewarded is the same thing as being praised. Right. Let's go on to 13. It says, no right thinking person who has lived in the country will fail to understand my disgust at noise. So we notice the one that is nearest in meaning is C. My disgust at noise will be understood by any right thinking person who has lived in the country. Let's go on to 14. 14. Here it says, the youth of the country need to organize themselves into cooperatives in order to support the Prime Minister's drive for self-sufficiency. So the question that is, the sentence that is equivalent or nearest in meaning is B. B. The youth should show their support for the Prime Minister's plan for self-sufficiency by organizing themselves into cooperatives. Let's go on to 15 now. It says the Europeans who were not well off were those who came to the West Indies in search of wealth. So our answer option would be D, that is nearest in meaning. Europeans who came to the West Indies to seek their fortunes were the ones who were not wealthy. D. Item 16 to 20. The instruction says, select the option A, B, C, or D that best describes each of the sentences and mark your choice on the answer sheet. So A, the sentence represent the sentence is too wordy, that is repetitive or contains redundancies. B, the sentence contains cliches or misused metaphors. C, the sentence is incorrect grammatically or fault in diction. And D, the sentence is acceptable as it stands. 16 says, he advanced a step or two to meet his attacker, who suddenly became alarmed and retreated back 4 or 5 paces. Right away, we recognize that this sentence is a bit repetitive and too wordy. Too wordy. For example, words such as retreat back, that's the same thing. It's repeating it. It means the same thing. And it contains it's too wordy. So A would be our answer for this one. 17 says, traffic bottlenecks must be ironed out if we are to prevent giant traffic congestion. So we notice this contains misused metaphor. So B would be our answer for this one. 18 says, the politician hammered the nail of his argument into the leafy minds of his audience, who had come to hear him speak on the difficult subject of monetary policy. So we know it is B again. The sentence contains cliches or misused metaphors. So we see some misused metaphors being used there. 19 says, seldom do people declare that they are not the products of their environment. So we notice that this sentence is acceptable as it stands. So D would be your answer. 20 says, the modern approach to fitness is to adopt a holistic approach, physical, mental, and emotional. Is there anything wrong with the sentence? Absolutely not. So this sentence is acceptable as it stands. So D would be our answer. So let's go on to 21. So, so we're going to leave this section in for part 2. So we have just completed part 1 of this CSEC English A, May, June 2016, paper 1. So make sure to subscribe, to like, and to share with all your friends, and to leave a comment below. And until then, we'll see you in the next video for part 2. Thank you so much for watching.